Well, good afternoon. I'm here to talk to you about soils. My name is Warren Anderson. I've been a master gardener for 19 years here in Rutherford County. What's a soil? If you've driven along by roadside, you've seen these road cuts that have layers in them that are called soil horizons. And if you look at all of the horizons together, you've got a profile. They vary in color, thickness, texture, and a few other things. So profiles, if you don't want to look at road cuts, you can look at carpets. You've got the pile as the A horizon, the pad as the B horizon, and the wooden subfloor as the C horizon or parent material. What is soils made of, or what's in them? You find minerals, you find organic matter, you find air, you find water. The water and the air are in the pore space. The organic matter, again, is decomposed plant material. Soils are used for a number of things. Is it a landfill? Is it a road? Is it for a home? Is it for a garden or a nursery, a forest, or a field of corn? Soil formation. How do you make a soil? You're talking about something that occurs naturally over thousands of years. They are considered to be a renewable resource, but to get about an inch of topsoil, it's going to take about 500 years for it to form naturally. Soil formation tends to be slow in cold, dry climates, and be fast in warm, wet climates. Tennessee's warm and wet. Subsoils. You'll see a lot of different colors in the subsoil. This is due to the oxidation of iron, from the reds to the yellows to the grays you see in here. This is an indication of drainage. Soil profiles, again, you've got the horizons coming together to form the profile. They change gradually over time. The soils that are here today were not the same soils that you found here during the Civil War. Things are added to soils, sediments, erosion occurs, things are taken away on that. And iron and clay moves within the soil profile. Deep roots from plants do one thing. They hold the soil in place. They prevent erosion. They minimize sediment loss and fertility loss. What makes up a soil? Sand, silts, and clays make up a soil. Sands are between 0.05 and 2 millimeters in diameter. Clays are less than 0.002 millimeters in diameter. A sand-sized particle, two sharpened pencil dots next to each other. Most soils are a combination of these three sizes, and this is called the soil's texture. If you wanted to make some comparisons, if the clay-sized particles were the size of a pea, then silt-sized particles would be the size of ping pong balls, sand-sized particles would be the size of basketballs, and gravel would be really big, right there. Sands feel gritty, clays feel sticky or plastic. Silts particles together feel like flour. Texture, how does the soil feel? Does it feel gritty? Does it feel soft? Right there. Is it a long ribbon? Is it a short ribbon? So color. The topsoil tends to have a dark brown to black color. This is due to the organic matter that's staining those mineral surfaces. The subsoil tends to be a red or yellow color due to the iron compounds in there. What can soils do for you? Well, you live on them, right there. They help to clean the air, clean the water, produce food and fiber crops, wood, forestry, again, and their habitats, food for plants, for animals, and wildlife. In Tennessee, We have a state bird, a state flower, a state fish, a state tree, a state rock. Right there. Limestone is a state rock. Right there. Tennessee also has a state soil, and that's the Dixon soil series. In Rutherford County, we have 24 different soil series. The Dixon soil was designated as a state soil for Tennessee in 1923 by the Natural Resource Conservation Service. On that. The Dixon soil, what does it look like, or what does it feel like? And the soil is, again, has typical profile. It's a brown, friable, or crumbly silt loam topsoil, which means it's over there on the right side of that textural triangle. It's got a yellowish red, yellowish brown to pale brown subsoil, which is friable, which is also a silt loam texture, which is also over there on the right side of that textural triangle. Subsoils, again, range between 18 to 36 inches, and this is where you find a brittle and compact layer. And this is called a fragipan. This is a highly dense material. Water and plant roots cannot move through it very easily. It does not crumble right there. It's a yellowish brown color. It's a silty clay loam texture. The Dixon soil, you can see over there on figure 2. It's an extensive soil. It covers about 400,000 acres right there. Over there on the right, on the left side, figure 1, you've got a typical soil profile for a Dixon. A Dixon soil covers, again, 400,000 acres. An acre of land is how much? 209 feet by 209 feet. It's a football field is going to be a little bigger. It's around 1.3 acres. Again, soils are used for a number of reasons. In Rutherford County, it's been moving away from agriculture and moving more towards engineering and home building, shopping malls, and roads. The Dixon soil, again, it's an oak, poplar, hickory type forest. Soils have a perched water table. And again, water does not move through it very easily. That's why this soil over in Dixon, Tennessee, is really not a good choice for a home site because the soil perks or water moves through it very slowly. Before there was a soil, what was there? There were rocks right there. So you've got 5 factors working together: climate, organisms, relief, parent material, and time, on, again, the limestone parent material to form this soil. You have weathering, it's the climate, freezing and thawing, water, rainfall running through it, dissolving and cracking up the rock. Temperature and precipitation are key things here in weathering. The Dixon soil, over there on figure 4 on the left side of the screen, you see that perched water table, which can occur. Over on the right side, in figure 5, it's a block diagram showing the Dixon soil relative to other soils you find in the Middle Tennessee area. Organisms are going to speed up the breakdown of parent materials to form soils. Again, this includes insects, earthworms, small animals, trees, and grasses. You've got relief for how the land is shaped, hills and valleys. Deep soils tend to form at the bottom of the hill. Shallow soils tend to form at the tops of the hill. Parent material here. It's inherited right there. The Dixon soil, it's a deep soil, moderately well drained, again. And the parent material here is a residuum. This means it's weathered rock, limestone rock, and it hasn't been moved or deposited. Again, time is a key thing here, and time is a hard thing to consider. But for an inch of topsoil, you need about 500 years. Time for the parent material is exposed to make it older right there. The less time is needed in a humid, warm climate, more time is needed in a dry climate. More time is needed if it's a clay parent material, less time if it's a sandy parent material. The next thing we're going to talk about here is soil testing. And someone else is going to talk to you about that.